Welcome to Her Anime Universe. I'm your host Carla, and if you love anime, manga, and the stories that inspire and entertain us, you're in the right place. Here we get into epic adventures, heartfelt romances, unforgettable characters, and even the lessons we can take from them. So whether you're here for nostalgia, new recommendations, or just a good time geeking out, join me, a longtime fangirl, as we explore the universe of all things anime, manga, and even the occasional K-drama. Remember to follow, like, and subscribe, and if you enjoy the show, leave a review. It helps more anime lovers find the podcast and keeps the conversations going. Hey everyone, welcome back to Her Anime Universe, another episode, and I am your host, Carla. And today I absolutely have to talk about this amazing female characters in anime. But before I get to that, I just want to share a quick update on what I want to attend or things like that. Anime, manga, all the things updates. And I'm going to try not to overload this podcast with too many of those. But I also like to keep it as real as possible. There are two possible expos that I can attend this coming weekend. There's one here in Austin, which is called I think it's the Anime and Game Art Game and Cosplay Expo, which is going to take place this next weekend, and the one in Houston, which is Animeverse, also the same weekend. So I don't know which one would be better. If you've attended these before, which would you recommend? And I'm asking because I'm literally going to be going to as many as I can this year and get more into this universe of all things fantasy, of course, still doing the other things I do, but I want to make this the best podcast I can for you and keep you updated on all the things that I find out. Now, back to the main thing. Amazing female characters in anime, in my opinion at least. Now, why is this so important? Well, for one, because I'm a woman talking about anime, and of course, I need to highlight some of the best female characters out there. Yeah? Anime is such an interesting medium, and depending on the genre, female characters are portrayed in so many different ways. Some anime really lean into the big boobed female character trope, where the guys are just straight up pervs. Okay? Let me just say it pervs. Like I just started watching Chainsaw Man, and Denji is all about the boobs until he gets them, and then he wants more. But at the same time, his superior, Makima, is this powerful woman who leads him on and plays him. Then you have anime where the girl is more shy, meek, and needs protection, like in My Happy Marriage. Even though Mio is more powerful than she knows, she still falls into that delicate, reserved role. But let's be real, being protected isn't always a bad thing. At least as a woman, it can feel nice to have a partner who steps in for you when you need it. On the flip side, there's also anime where the men are so beautiful that they could honestly just pass as women. So why not make the female main characters just as stunning? It makes me wonder sometimes, like, why is she so plain? But there's always something at the end. Then, of course, there's the tsundere love interest, that girl who starts off cold, hostile, or even aggressive, but slowly shows her softer side. Characters like Asuka from Neon Genesis Evangelion, right? Or Taiga from Toradora, right? This fits perfectly. They'll insult the protagonist 1 second and then secretly care about them the next. And we can't forget about the overpowered but emotionless girl trope. These characters are ridiculously strong, but they lack emotions and social awareness. Think Rei Ayanami from Neon Genesis again, right? They're often paired with a more expressive protagonist who helps them open up emotionally. That being said, none of this really bothers me, all the different tropes and everything. I appreciate different types of storytelling and creativity in anime. It's the same thing I see in K-dramas, right? The female character isn't allowed to speak up at first or is judged harshly by her family or friends or just society. And of course, there's the double standards everywhere, even outside of anime. So all of this is so important to just keep in mind. But today, I want to highlight female characters for different reasons. Some are physically powerful, some are brilliant, some are lonely, but just on an important journey. And some have this incredible ability to connect with people. So, who are these women who I think are super duper amazing and awesome? Yeah, here we go. Okay, I don't know, I've always liked this one. Claire. From what? Claire from Claymore, yeah? And I have to start with Claire from Claymore, especially because I feel like this anime and manga doesn't get talked about enough, especially from a woman's perspective. I've seen some really great explanations on YouTube by a few people, but I haven't really found many women talking about this one. And so those really great explanations are from guys, and I appreciate those explanations because they gave me so much insight. But I also wanted to talk about it from my point of view. So Claymore is one of those series that gets compared to Berserk, except in this one, the women are the ones hired to fight. They are the ones with the ability to be violent, and that's part of their job. Normally, in most stories, women aren't the ones doing the fighting and killing, but Claymore flips that dynamic, which I love. This story follows female warriors called Claymores, who are half human, half monster hybrids that fight against flesh eating demons called Yoma. And Claire, she's freaking powerful. Her family was slaughtered by Yoma, unfortunately, and she was saved by a legendary Claymore named Teresa. Oops. Yeah, I do give some stuff away. But instead of just being grateful and moving on, she chose to become a Claymore herself, dedicating her life to fighting against Yoma. There's a big story behind that, but go watch it, okay? What I love about Claymore is that compared to the other Claymores, she is actually the weakest one. Yet she never gives up. She keeps pushing forward even when she shouldn't win. One of the key things that keeps her going is this boy, Rocky, that she saved. Even though claymores aren't supposed to have emotions or attachments, Claire develops this empathy. And I love that because it's a full circle moment. She was saved and then she passed it along by saving someone else. She almost reminds me too of Goku in this, and not like how like his power level, but in the sense that she keeps fighting even when she should be dead. And no, I'm not saying she's like Goku, like I said, but the perseverance, it's is what makes me think of him. She's constantly having to battle with the monster side of herself while staying in control. And what I love is that there's no single moment that made me just love her. It's just her overall vibe. She's like, I don't know, cool. She's the underdog, yet she keeps proving people wrong. So, one thing that I learned from Claire is that even if people think you're not strong enough or capable, if you push through, face your hardest battles, and accept help when you need it, you will overcome your obstacles. Okay? It's okay to ask for help here and there. Also, as I explain or speak on characters, let me know if you ever wanted me to do a deeper dive on this, right? Or especially here, Claymore, because again, like I said, it's not talked about enough. And as a woman, not enough, right? Now, another character that I love is Bulma from, of course, Dragon Ball and all the Dragon Ball series. She's been such a fun character to follow throughout the Dragon Ball series. When I first started watching, I really thought she and Yamcha were going to be the end game, but clearly that wasn't meant to be. At some point, she probably wanted growth and a challenge, and Yamcha, he definitely wasn't it. So when she ended up getting with Vegeta, okay, again, another spoiler. That was the ultimate challenge, but it also showed that as a woman, as smart as her, who knows what she wants, can find a man who will protect her and will grow with her. And he too will find a woman who is, as he said, feisty in one of these episodes, but challenges him and makes him want to protect her. So sweet, right? Isn't it? Like even the most alpha or badass dude can be sweet for the woman he loves. So from the beginning, Bulma was wealthy, but that never stopped her from wanting more knowledge. She went on her own adventure to find something she really wanted, and that's how she met Goku. And if you've watched Dragon Ball, I hope you have, you know she's after the Dragon Balls and isn't afraid to get her hands dirty. You would think that being so smart and rich, she would just pay her way through everything. And yeah, she does sometimes, but she actually likes doing the work herself. She likes getting in there. She likes exploring, she likes tinkering with things. And one of my favorite moments with her is when she's just chilling with Wiz, eating and chatting like it's nothing, while Vegeta is literally afraid of Wiz and Beerus, and Bulma, unbothered. So, something that you can learn, and I've learned from her, is that when you have confidence, when you know what you want and follow your path, You'll attract everything you want and more, your relationships, your success, your lifestyle. And I think that's something as women that we really should remember. Now there's Usagi, or Sailor Moon, and she's been one of my favorite characters since the beginning of my anime journey. She likes sleeping in? Same. She got a C in math? Same. Not saying that's okay, right? But you get me. She's a middle school girl. I was in middle school when I started watching her. And one of the things I admire about Usagi is that she's not afraid to make friends. She sees someone interesting, she talks to them. Even after discovering that she was Sailor Moon, the daughter of Serenity, she stayed friends with her original crew, Naru and Umino. She starts out lazy, in the series and a little selfish, but by the end, she's selfless and willing to protect her friends, her family, even the entire planet. One of my favorite moments of her is in Sailor Moon Super S, the movie, where she literally goes all out to save the kids who are trapped in her dreams. And of course, she needed to also save Chibi Moon. So, one thing that I love about her is that she's always fighting for what she loves, for what she cares for. And even though she's, stubborn and lazy at times and doesn't want to do school, but just loves, Tuxedo Mask, she's so loving. And one thing that I will always love about this series is that you really can cherish friendships and be selfless when you need to. And she's a reminder that kindness and connection really truly matter, especially now and everything that's going on in the world. Now, finally, there's Urza Scarlet from Fairy Tail. Now, let's talk about Urza Scarlet from Fairy Tail, okay? She is a leader, a warrior, and just a complete badass bitch, yeah? She's one of the strongest mages, and she's been through so much trauma, enslavement, losing an eye, fighting nonstop battles, yet she still protects her guild and her friends. And, she's worked so hard that she gets to be an S class mage. And it's not that she gets to be, she's earned her way. She's worked herself there to get to be an S level mage. And what makes Urza unique is that she's both masculine and feminine. She has confidence, but she's also vulnerable. She's serious, but she's hilarious. And I honestly admire how the creators just kind of picked perfect moments for her to be one or the other, and it always fit her. And here's something real. Her armor, it's literally and figuratively her shield. She wears it to feel safe after everything she's been through. And that's something a lot of women relate to. More towards the back end of the show, she becomes even more of a leader in the guild. And what I love about her is that even after starting her healing journey, something tends to happen that is like a reminder that healing is not linear. There's always lessons to be learned along the way. So there's always a constant growth here. So remember, the lesson that you can learn from her is that sometimes we need our armor, but we also need to know when to take it off and let people in. Because that's when you will truly grow, when you learn from others. So those are the four amazing female characters in my opinion, right? And there's so many more, but these were the first four that I wanted to talk about. And you let me know who you think is amazing. If you're new to anime and want to know more about these characters, I'd recommend, specifically to get to know these characters, I'd probably recommend starting with Dragon Ball, Fairy Tail, Sailor Moon, and then Claymore, since that one is more violent and bloody and gory. But really, if you wanted to start getting into it, I would probably watch Naruto, Sailor Moon, of course, Dragon Ball, Bleach, probably. I'd also watch older anime just so you can learn how people and creators do their work. So let me know, who are your favorite female anime characters. Also, should I talk about the villains? Maybe the powerful female villains, because there are some really good ones out there. So let me know on Instagram, DM me, or just leave a comment below. So with that being said, and all my favorites, that's all for today. Till next time. That's it for today's episode of Her Anime Universe. Thanks for hanging out with me and geeking out over all things anime and manga. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow, subscribe, and leave a review. It really helps this podcast grow. Let's keep the conversation going over on Instagram at Her Anime Universe, or even on my other page at Coach Carlita. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and keep being unapologetically you.